to be here today with Charlotte Davies, who is the CIWM Early Careers President and a Senior Consultant at Beyondly. Welcome, Charlotte.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
No worries. You've run straight over from the Future Talent Hub, where you were just talking about attracting new talent to the sector. Yeah, so thank you so much for racing over. I appreciate it. How did the talk go?
It was really good. Yeah, really good. We had full seats, which I was really pleased about. It's something I'm very passionate about anyway, so easy to talk about. But we were really talking about how we can make the sector more accessible, how perhaps the language we use, like resource management, waste management, is not the most enticing or attractive to bring people in.
Sometimes I feel like the word resource, we really understand what that means within the sector, but actually outside of the sector, I'm not sure that they understand waste, but I don't think they understand resource.
I think that's it. If they see waste or bins or that kind of thing, or recycling, that is a word that resonates with them. They have it in their, daily sort of
language.
Yeah, language, I guess. Whereas circular economy and resource management or resource efficiency, it's not something that people use every day, and it isn't clear what it means either, I don't think, from the wording. So yeah, that's a big thing to entice people in. And I think just having, as well, I said, role models, and we are a sector that represents the population. We, provide a service to the population. So we need to look like that population, and we need to have that diversity within our sector as well. So that's something I think is really crucial. And it has changed, don't get me wrong. I'm told it's changed a lot over the last couple of years.
Well, because I was going to ask, you've been at Beyondly for about 4 years, just over.
Yeah.
Have you seen the sector change and become more diverse in that time?
Yeah, I think it definitely has. And initiatives like the CIWM Early Careers Ambassadors team, which I sort of lead, but we've got a big team of 11 others. Obviously there's a lot of EDI strategies out there, and I think there definitely is that progression towards that, but I think there's still quite a long way to go in that sense. But I mean, looking around today, it's great to see so many different diverse backgrounds and different roles as well within the sector are all so different. So yeah, we need that representation.
I mean, it's clear you are super passionate about this, so it's absolutely appropriate that you were the Early Careers President at CIWM. How has the role been? So it's been a year, almost to the day, or just over probably.
Yeah.
How have you found your first year? And also tell us how long you expect to be in the role.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a funny story, really. I wanted to be a CIWM member, but I'd had it on my list for ages. I was like, it's that sort of bottom of the list. It's not customer work, it's not client work, so you didn't really get to it. And then one of my colleagues sent me the sort of email about the Early Careers President. I thought, that's really cool. I am really passionate about the sector and I'd love to do it, but you had to be a CIWM member. So when I applied, I wasn't actually a CIWM member, so it all kind of happened all in one go. And yeah, a year today, it was at RWM that I found out that when I was going to be the Early Careers President. So I've been it for a year.
Oh, so you were inaugurated at the gala dinner last year.
Yes.
You had only found out that day?
Well, it was kind of a couple of days before, but I wasn't allowed to tell anybody, and it was all kind of keep quiet. But yeah, so I've got another 8 months, I think, till June next year. I've had slightly longer since I'm the first one to sort of get ourselves established. There's all sorts of admin and practical things that we had to sort out first in terms of when we meet and all of that kind of thing. And we've set quite a comprehensive work plan, which we're smashing at the moment. All the ambassadors are doing so much and really stepping out into the sector, and yeah, we're doing so much. So it's great to see, and we've got these sort of my key passion was to raise awareness of the sector sort of combating climate change through my role. And through that, we've embedded the early careers voice, both internally and externally within the CIWM and within the sector. So I think and you see lots of early career ambassadors here today are doing talks and doing webinars or podcasts and kind of things. So that's really promising. The other sort of more challenging focus, I guess, was to engage with schools, and it can be quite difficult. But we've got a couple of career fairs that we're going to that are booked up for this autumn period, so that's really exciting. And we've sort of done the admin behind that to help the next Early Careers President and the next team.
What advice, a year in, what advice will you give to that new team and the new Early Careers President when they come in?
So I think the main advice is just really to enjoy yourself. I have met so many people through this role that I probably I always joke and say that they're like celebrities of the waste sector, like they're the Beyonce of the waste sector. And I've met them through this role, and now I speak to them, WhatsApp them, like it's wild. So I think really just make the most of the opportunities and the people and the networking and that kind of thing. But secondly, I think working in the group of ambassadors, I found to really utilise everyone's strengths. So some person might prefer to do a webinar or a course, that's their strengths, they like to do that. So really support them to do that. Whereas somebody else would be more happy doing a research task. So I think it's really acknowledging everybody's different strengths and backgrounds and making use of that within the team to really make the work plan successful and efficient in what we've done. So yeah, that would probably be my biggest piece, but yeah, just enjoy yourself.
Okay, so going back to the start of your career, how did you end up in the waste sector? Because I think the general trend is that most people just fall into it. Not many people, and actually I think you wrote this in an opinion piece for Letsrecycle last week, not many people at age 8 say, oh, well, I want to grow up and be in the waste sector. So how did that happen for you?
It's funny, I just touched this on my talk. As an 8-year-old, there's no way I would have known what. I think we are just bin fairies, or whatever you want to call us. We are that overnight solution. You put your bins out, it's gone the next morning. You don't really think much about where it goes. I had no idea the sector existed. How I fell into it was I was an account manager, sort of data analyst role at Beyondly. So helping people become compliant under the packaging waste regulations. And I sort of realised, wow, okay, so why are you using that? I started asking these questions, and I found myself getting more and more interested in materials and the recycling processes, how that works in the system. So yeah, I guess I fell into it, but I was kind of passionate already about the environment, so that passion just then went into the materials and packaging that we were handling.
So actually that brings us nicely to your work at Beyondly, which I think we can describe as your main full-time job. How do you find the time to do both?
Yeah, it's been a busy year. Beyondly have been great at being very flexible about letting me sort of do all these things, which has been really good. My main role at Beyondly is I'm a senior consultant in sort of resource efficiency and circularity, so a lot of that is big bespoke projects with different businesses. Obviously all of this compared to the compliance side is voluntary, so it tends to be like unique projects that people come to us with. So it's been quite good. I've just sort of reduced the numbers down a little bit, but I've been working alongside, and actually the roles have benefited each other in a sense that I've taken some skills I developed at Beyondly through that role into this early careers president role. But also some of the people I've met, I've been like, I had a customer that was looking for a solution for that. I'll link them up. So it has, really supported, which I think is the aim of, that's as a member of CIWM, what we want to gain from it, isn't it? That networking, that training, that knowledge sharing, which has definitely just been heightened in the role I'm doing. So it has been busy, but no, I wouldn't have it anywhere. I've really enjoyed it. I wouldn't have it any other way.
And later, I want to get the time right. It's at 12:45 p.m. to 1:15 p.m. today on the Circular Economy Theatre. You will be appearing with some of your collaborators from Preston City Council and RECOUP to talk about the Pledge2Recycle Plastics campaign. Can you tell us a little bit about the scheme?
Yeah, so obviously Beyondly mainly works with businesses and for compliance purposes. But over the last couple of years, we've had a pot of money called the Fund for Change. So it's a percentage of our profit, and it's opened every year. People apply to it. So RECOUP applied with the Pledge2Recycle campaign, and they obviously won an allocated amount of funding. And we then sort of helped them decide which local authority to partner up with, and Preston have been amazing. Elliot Preston's been so proactive. But essentially, the campaign is to aim to educate people about how to recycle plastics, what should be going on in what bin, what shouldn't be going in what bin. So it went on for a couple of months in Preston back end of 2023, I think now. Gosh, is it 2023? I can't remember the dates off the top of my head, but 2023 maybe.
I think it might have been 2023, yeah.
And we had all sorts of there was lots of leaflet drops, there was lots of radio campaigns, which I think was really unique about the Preston campaign, is that we went with the approach of join us. So it was very like Preston are proud to be doing this. And yeah, as I say, Preston City Council and RECOUP were amazing, and they've let Beyond Me be quite part of it. So I was sort of managing the project from a Beyond Me perspective. But yeah, we had some great results in terms of contamination reductions at the MRF, but also from the team out on the rounds recording lower amounts of contamination within the bin. So yeah, really positive. And I think we did a webinar last week actually with RECOUP and just talking to Preston about what comes next. It's really great to see that the sort of legacy of the campaign has been really positive as well, and there has definitely been sort of a continued positive impact. So yeah, I think hopefully we'll be able to work with RECOUP again and perhaps in another local authority or another project, which would be great. So yeah, I think it's really exciting as a business that usually works with business to get out of that sort of mindset and work with a local authority on sort of campaign behaviour change approach.
I think with what you're saying there, I'm thinking back to the start of our conversation and also the chat I had with Dr. David Greenfield from the CIWM earlier, and it's about educating the younger generation when it comes to recycling the waste sector. And I think it's so important to meet them in their sort of home terrain. I think most 18-year-olds now, if not, well, probably all 18-year-olds, have not lived in a world without smartphones. So things like radio campaigns, social media campaigns are just going to be even more essential in getting messages across. Do you have any statistics or information to share about the radio portion of the work you did?
Oh, I'm not the best for statistics. There is a number that we reached with it. I think the overall whole campaign we reached, I think it was 260,000 people is what we estimate to have been reached through the social media adverts, the leaflets, the radio. But what I thought was really nice, so I actually did a volunteer day where we went and stood outside a spa little corner shop and spoke to everyone walking past, and we did it on a Friday, I think, so we got the school mums and people doing their weekly shopping, so it was really good. But it was really nice to see Preston had done some assemblies in schools or workshops in schools, and the kids then came past and were like, oh, we know who you are, we've seen you in our assembly. And it was like that link. You really had got to the kids, they really understood what they wanted to do, and I think then that sort of then goes to the parents, isn't it, and it's kind of that knock-on impact. So yeah, that was really nice to see when we were on the ground in Preston.
Beautiful. Well done. Thank you, Charlotte, for joining us today. Really appreciate it. It's great to meet you, and best of luck for the next 8 months and the rest of your career.
Oh, well, thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you.